check out this neat little set of rules for playing fast games of Age of Sigmar.
Spiky bits.
What's up, hobby maniacs? Baer with you again today, checking out the brand new Warhammer skirmish rules for Age of Sigmar. Now, this is a softcover 40-page rulebook here that explains the nuances of how to play Age of Sigmar, kind of like on a smaller scale here. Now, of course, people are going to invoke the old Mordheim reference, which it's kind of... It doesn't have its own mechanics. You still use the Age of Sigmar rules. You're still going to need the free download online, or if you have a battle tome or a general's handbook, you're going to have the 4 pages of rules already. So it isn't any new rules. It's just rules for playing smaller scale games of Age of Sigmar on the tabletop, and then specific specific missions to that effect, of course. How to use this book, the storyline, and kind of some backstory to that sort of thing. It's all taking place apparently in a place called Shadespire, which Nagash got mad at them. I guess it was a very affluent city, so he just basically disappeared everybody in that city from reality, and now it's like a mirrored city, and everybody's just kind of goes there to kind of loot the place. But every now and then you see phantoms and ghosts, and people just disappear, and you see something in the mirrored walls, and you don't quite know what it is. But that's the backstory. That's the curse of Shadespire. Spoiler alert. But it's actually a really good read in here, because you don't mess with that man Nagash. He's a bad MFer right there. So then it goes into the rules. There's a lot of different ways, a lot of different things, battle plans and sort of things. But the stuff we're going to talk about that I think will apply to most people is going to be the skirmish battle and the actual match play rules. But then they have the whole thing on choosing a warband in the back. So we're not really going to cover the missions and sort of things there, because this is just kind of a brief overview. There's the page on the fluff, the Shadespire curse, and then it gets into the skirmish rules themselves. And here they are. Not a whole lot to it. It's literally 2 pages. This is how you play Age of Sigmar skirmish, which is 2 pages. Very simple. So the big stuff that you're probably going to want to know is that models are no longer in squads, so to speak, but abilities, things like musicians and standards, they're going to affect everybody within 6 inches of them on here. Now, as far as allegiance goes, you're not going to be able to keep your super Billy Badass allegiance, say Iron Jaws or Stormcast or anything like that. You're going to have to default to anything you're eligible for from your overall allegiance book. So you would be pulling from destruction, you'd be pulling from order, chaos, etc., like that. There are still generals in here. They still can have abilities, but you're going to be picking from the stuff over here and not from any other place. Battle Shock's a little bit different. If you fail a Battle Shock test, you're just going to pull somebody from your warband instead of like your squads, which you don't have squads in here. So then there's the standard rules of 3 for the most part. You can only attempt to spell once per turn. A roll of 1 to hit, to wound, to save always fails, and you can't go infinite on extra hit rolls, attack wounds, or wound rolls, etc., on something that's like for 6 you get an extra whoozy what's it. It doesn't quite work like that, and some units don't work. Like if you just get something back, obviously that's going to probably affect some of the flesh court dudes, but you just don't get dudes back for free in this game because it is smaller scale. Now, here's the command abilities, and we're not going to go over those too much. You can kind of see them here. Now, there are some good stuffs, of course, added to your General's Bravery, reroll charge rolls, Tenacious Defender, reroll saves for friendly models within 6. So there are going to be things that where you want to stay close to each other, but not too close, kind of type deal. Oh, and you don't have to be within an inch of anybody or anything like that, and the whole squad type deal. And then there's artifacts of power as well. Lots of different things in here that really can sway the battle, but also kind of not break anything on the magnitude that some of the stuff in the books can there as well. So let's see. So your general can have these things here, and then it goes into the Shadespire campaign rules. Now this is if you have, like a group of folks that just wants to track how they're doing and how their models progress, but we're not going to really talk about that. And then there's the campaign and then the battle plans for doing these sort of things right here too. But the thing that you're probably going to be most interested in, it might be more kind of middle of the road and more generalized that a lot of people are probably going to, that's going to appeal to a lot of people here, is the skirmished match play, which is right over here. This is how you can point out your armies in renowned points, I believe it's called. That I think they recommend everybody does 50. I think it's 50 renown points, pretty sure. And then the resulting games here, how many victory points things, match play battle plans, which they're going to give you in the back section here. These are the skirmish ones, and then these are, where are they? Oh, these are the skirmish ones. I thought there was like straight up battle. I thought there was other ones too. No, I guess not. I guess those were them right there. So renown system on page 35 to 40 has been designed to allow you to take things. Now, your big elite type units or armies, things like, well, for me, I was looking at destruction, at playing the Beast Claw Raiders, and of course you can't put a big fatty on the table, that would just be silly, but you can put a Mornfang pack. But again, you're not going to feel the Beast Claw Raiders army because, I mean, I guess you could, whatever you could fit within 50 right here, that you're just, you divide it by 16. Skirmish battles feature 50 renowned warbands in less than an hour, while a similar game of 100-point renowned warbands will take 90 minutes or longer. So you can kind of play two different ways. So yeah, I could play with a bunch of Morphin packs, but I could just go straight destruction and take from all of this right here, because you have to have the same allegiance, but it doesn't necessarily have to be your same faction allegiance. So that's kind of cool. So that gives me reasons to take my fatties on foot right here, or maybe, hey, buy a box of brutes or something and roll out with some of those. So it gives you options, not just kind of gives you one direction you can go. Of course, there's chaos, order, destruction, and death in here as well. So lots of cool different ways to play, and that's pretty much enough to get you up and going, or decide on your own if you want to pick up this $10 book right here. It doesn't seem too bad for 10 bucks. I mean, you can't really go wrong with it, and it also seems fast enough. Like they said, 100-point renown games are going to go for 90 minutes. That seems pretty decent, but then again, you're starting to get up around that time that I would just play Age of Sigmar. So my suggestion would be probably the 50-point renown games, to where you can keep them at a quick enough time. And if you have enough interested parties, you could just run a campaign league. So there's, as far as rules go, the real rules you have to learn are just simplifying what you already know about Age of Sigmar. You don't have to learn any new mechanics, and then you just have to kind of point up your warband to get them on the tabletop there based on that renown chart, and then just pick a mission and play. And they even give you all the options like what to roll and what to play. So it seems pretty easy, and it's not too shabby for 10 bucks. I mean, 40 pages. I don't see why, if you don't have a bunch of interested parties, this would not be an auto purchase for you right off the bat. And of course, you got the new Sigmarite Mausoleum. If you're looking for some smaller terrain just to put on the table, there's a new mat to go along with this as well, playing on the 4x4 table. So Games Workshop seems to be supporting this release right at launch. So there's lots of different options out there. And then of course, the great Warband box sets are out this week as well, $65. All of these things are in separate video reviews here on the channel that you can definitely check out at your leisure. Now, if you like our video features here on the channel, please subscribe to us here on YouTube and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on everything we post. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.